Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Brittany, I know you weren't on the top of the show. We were talking about what we did over the summer. What'd you do? Anything?
Ooh, what did I do? I ain't do nothing. I ain't got nothing to talk about now. Like,
Okay.
um,
All right, All right, well, according to CNN, the Appalachian High School shooter's grandfather says that the shooter's mom called the school with a warning the day of the mass shooting. Remember, there was a mass shooting at Appalachian High School. Anyway, some more's coming out about that. But according to Colt Gray, he's the Colt Gray is the person who killed the two students and the two teachers. The grandfather said that the mom, Marcy Gray, received a message from him saying, "I'm sorry, Mom." That message prompted her to call the school with a warning. CNN says that the call between Marcy and the school lasted 10 minutes. She called the school at 9:50, and the police were notified about the shooting at 10:20. The mom nor the grandfather specified the context of the call. In a statement to the Washington Post, Marcy Gray says, "I'm so sorry. I cannot fathom the pain and suffering that they're going through right now in regards to the shooting." Apparently, the student, he was a year ago, he was contacted by police because he was accused of making a threat about a school shooting. They did an investigation, but based on the evidence, they couldn't do anything because he said he hadn't done it and they didn't have any real proof. And then after that happened, he had apparently earlier this year asked his parents for help with his mental health, which apparently went ignored. And then we know back in December, his dad gave him a gun for, I think, for the holidays, which he ended up using to kill those people at the school. And so now his dad is being charged, him and his dad are being charged as a result for his dad giving him the gun. What do you think? Because it was interesting. Montell Jordan was on a panel, and he was saying that parents used to start getting locked up when their kids do stuff like this.
Amen.
What do you think, Chica? I'll let you go.
Amen. I'm with that. And harshly. So part of this for me is how much longer are y'all going to play in our face? Kids keep dying. They keep shooting up these schools. And y'all just had one not too long ago. And you had one just not too long ago before that. And the one before that. And you keep doing the same things over and over again. And it's like replaying. It's like Groundhog's Day. Same thing over and over again. And nothing's really being done. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this. Some foots need to be put in asses. And I think it needs to be the parents because ultimately, that's where your life starts at home. Your parents raise you and they produce what comes out into the world. You're sending your child to school. I wish, like, if my mom had found a gun in my book bag, I would have been dead and buried a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let alone buy it for you.
Right. There are over 300 school shootings this year alone.
You know, when I got my first gun, you know how old I was? 49.
Yeah. Linnea, what are your thoughts on this?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So they just ran an ad, right? And the ad was about guns, right? And all it was a little girl fell in the pool. And it said, you know, the number one cause of death of children in the United States, it's not them falling in the pool. It's not X, Y, and Z. And all you see was the lady saying, "Oh Lord, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers." And then the neighbors start coming out, "Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers." Nobody wants thoughts and prayers. We don't want that. Y'all want to say give teachers guns. I don't want my child to, I'm so happy my son is grown. I don't want my child to have to go to school and you prep him when somebody got a gun. Because that's what you want our kids to prep for. You want them to prep when somebody comes in with a gun. They can't prep. They can't go to home ec because y'all take that out. They can't do any type of creative art because y'all take that out. Hell, they can't hardly get free lunch because y'all don't even want to feed the children. But yet, y'all want to take away women's rights though when it comes to us deciding whether or not we can have them. I just don't. I don't understand. But then I do understand when you're married to the people who make the gun.
Mm.
When their wants and their needs and their bottom line is more important than the people who are voting for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I heard something this weekend too, Stephen. And I just remembered the dichotomy of that is shifting due to the fact that the killers are starting to survive. It used to be a thing where they would get killed.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to survive. So now that they know that they can do this and possibly survive, it's kind of a small sense of encouragement. Oh, I can do this and get away with it. Not get away with it, but you know.
Right. And he was 14. He's 14 years old. And they always try to say mental health, mental health, mental health. And statistics show that people who experience mental health, they have a greater chance of harming themselves. And they say that people have mental health all over the world, but we're the only country that has this issue.
That part.
We're the only country that has this issue. So, Brittany, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's tragic, and I do think that the parents need to start suffering the consequences. I think that the issue that the mom had was that she called the school at 9:50. The student started at 9 or 10:20, and she was on the phone with them for 10 minutes. They went to his math class where he was supposed to be, and he was not there. And I know that I have a lot of my girlfriends are social workers in school, in DeKalb County School District and in other places, and that is one of their biggest issues is that kids are not always able to be accounted for. They hide throughout the school doing things they're not supposed to, vaping, having sex, doing all these things, and that teachers are not or administrators and some people in the building are not always making sure these kids are where they're supposed to be. So in the instance where the mom is calling saying that her child needs help, can't nobody find him because he can hide in all these cracks and crevices. But the fact that the dad bought the gun, I absolutely think that he should receive a harsher punishment, if not the equivalent that his son is going to get, because I think he is being tried as an adult. There was just a shooting in Maryland with the kid that shot the other kid, and that kid died. And that he was 16 and a 17-year-old, a new student that just transferred in to that school and had an issue with him, shot and killed his classmate. So I think that it has to be gun laws. I do think that if you have mental health, you need to be able to pass a mental health test before you can get a gun. Like, I do think that you should have to sit and do all of these tests and exams that they give us when we need cars, but you don't need one when you get a gun. I think that it's just so many things that need to change, and that's why it's important to vote.
Yeah. And, they said that after that shooting, there were many other threats to schools in Georgia, including a parent or an adult called one of the schools with a threat.
Can I say something? To what Brittany just said about people getting some form of assessments when it comes to getting a gun. Maybe they need to start with cops.
Yeah.
Psychological evaluation. Maybe you need to start there.
Yeah.
But allegedly they do with police officers. Allegedly they do.
Only when after the fact, not before. I'm talking about when you in the police academy. You need to get, matter of fact, before you even get into the academy, you need to have a psychological evaluation. But they don't do that. They only put you on leave after you discharge your gun. That's the only time that they do it. So how about you start with cops? Because this whole thing, this boy had a what it was, an AR-15. Why do you have that type of machinery? That's for when you over at a war.
Yeah.
Why would you even buy him if that's the gun that the father bought? Why would you buy him a gun that can drop off? in like a minute and
Yeah.
take you to a school and I don't the people who died it have nothing to do with what you had going on.
Mhm.
That's the thing that everybody misses. You want to hurt somebody, go hurt yourself. But then you go to a school and you kill people that ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on. That's the frustrating part. So
Yeah.
now these people have to bury their children and their loved ones because you claim you got mental issues and that's what you're going to use as an excuse when you go to court.
Yeah.
And to what Chike said, I do think that, like, I don't wish death on nobody, and I believe in God and all of that stuff. But yes, if you are in a school shooting where my kids are at, I don't want the killer carried out. I want him dead. Like, go in, find him, and shoot him dead. Like, I feel as though if he's shooting at children, it should be shoot to kill. Like, you not trying to arrest anybody. The moment you see him, I think that he should be taken out, because I don't think that he should be given an opportunity to walk out. I don't think that he should be given an opportunity to calm down. Why are y'all talking to this person if he's in a building shooting at children? I think that that is so unfair. You should go in ready to take that person out and save as many other children's lives that you can.
They got Burger King for the dude who shot
Yeah.
people in the church.
Yep.
Got him
I
Burger
think
King.
I think that it should be shoot to kill when you enter in and go get him.
Not if
So
you fight.
And but shout out to that the law enforcement out there. They did a good job with getting there.
within 10 minutes, they said.
Yeah, and they prevented other casualties. So, but yeah, something has to change. All right, well, today the nominations for 2024 CMA Awards were announced, and many people were shocked to see that Beyonce did not receive any nominations for her last album, Cowboy Carter. The album was released earlier this year on March 29th, placing it with the eligibility window to be nominated for this year's awards show, according to AP News. Now, nonetheless, there are no nominations for the chart-topping project. Many people have started to take to social media to discuss the matter, while some have expressed their disappointment. Others been left wondering if Beyonce even submitted the project for consideration for this year's CMAs. Cowboy Carter reached #1 spot in Billboard's country album, making Beyonce the first Black woman to top the chart. Prior to dropping the album, Beyonce said it was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcomed and was very clear that I wasn't. Many people believe that experience was her performance at the 2016 CMAs, which resulted in backlash. Now she didn't receive any nominations, but what's that country artist, Whiskey? Yes, he shouted her out and said thank you for letting us be seen, because she brought a lot of attention to Black country artists with her album, and even included some of them on her album. I know you're a Beehive, Brittany. Were you shocked about this?
I applaud what she's trying to do. I do think that what she is trying to do is to show the higher ups that you cannot label music, like their genres are just, the lines are blurred for what a genre of a song is. For example, T.I. is a rapper, and now he has a song with Young Dro and Kurt Franklin. So is it going to fall in the rap category or in the gospel category? Because he is making gospel music now. And I think that that's the point that she's trying to make, is that you can no longer place just one label on Black people music. Like, oh, well, they're either blues, R&B, rap, or hip hop. Like, it should be open to where things are blurred. You can blend different sounds. It can fall in all different kind of categories. And I applaud what she's trying to do, but I also think, to Chike's point, sometimes, like, you should just go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. And I think that, some people are, it's almost like in New Orleans, right? My family is from Louisiana, and it's just known that in certain places in the French Quarter, you cannot buy houses there if you're Black. Like they tend to just keep those for upper elite white because they are such a prestigious area. And it's just like, so why would you even want to go over there? Because you know it's going to be nothing but trouble and it's just going to create. So I think that I can applaud what she's trying to do, but then it's just, why would you even want to be in there if they don't want you there?
Linnea.
I'm going to venture on the side of she probably didn't submit it. This was more of a labor of love for her. It was something she wanted to do, and she did it, and she was successful at it. From my understanding, there might be, a rock one on the way, for her to tap into that, and that I think that's just her tapping into her creativity because for her, she's like, you're not going to put me in a box. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I think as a creative, you should be able to do that because the other side will do it all day long. Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's worried about being accepted by that side. I think also it was definitely a thing to highlight those Black country artists that have been in it and that are doing it, and are not getting the recognition. And she definitely did that. So I think that she was successful in that way because I ended up following oh my god, the girl that sings Buckle Bunny. And I mean I absolutely love her. She could listen, she calls herself I don't even want to say it, but like the Beyonce of country, and it's hilarious. The skank Beyonce of country. That's what she calls herself. But I think she's so cute and she can sing, and Brittany Spencer. So all of them have gotten time because of this. And I appreciate it because some people I didn't even know about. It was only a few that I knew of. But then the other ones, and I'm like, I didn't even know about these people.
Yeah.
I appreciated it even more to include into my already extensive music love of music when it comes to hearing different music. So I appreciated it.
No. Chike, what are your thoughts?
I mean, Brittany pretty much said how I feel about it. Stop trying to succeed in these spaces that were systematically not built for you. They didn't want you there. But I honestly don't think that it was all 100% a Beyonce desire. It's nice that it comes along, but I agree that it was probably creative space for her that happened to win, and she won big. But I think it's an even better floss and flex that you went into somebody else's house and you wreck shop and then you walk away. You go back to where you came from. But I was in your house. I did it better than everybody in your house. Now I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's doing rock next.
Yeah.
She's
Our
gonna do a
last
rock.
story. So Kendrick Lamar, he said to headline upcoming Super Bowl in New Orleans. This is coming after some backlash though, because they're saying all the New Orleans artists, Lil Wayne, etc., why aren't they being considered? Found this very interesting. I'll start with you, Chike. What are your thoughts on
Wait, refresh me. I'm sorry. Refresh me.
Kendrick Lamar being the headliner at Super Bowl, but they're getting some backlash because they're saying, well, what about the New Orleans artists that we already have out of here? How come you didn't pick them?
Who had the biggest song of the year? Enough said. I have nothing else to say to that.
You know, Charlotte Man guy said the best thing. He said, just be glad they didn't Taylor Swift. He's right. That's just like her. I mean, God bless her, but
And wait a minute, before you go to the next person, I predict, you heard it here first, I predict him at the Super Bowl this go around is going to be a movement.
And I believe he'll probably bring out some artists. They haven't announced anything what he's going to do, who's bringing out.
Think because of that song alone, it's going to be a movement, especially if that lady gets in office.
Right. Yeah. Linnea, what's your thoughts?
I always say this when people want to, it's selective outrage. You want to know where that selective outrage comes from? Drake fans. Selective outrage is you didn't have that same energy when Beyonce did the Super Bowl in 2013 in New Orleans. You didn't have that same energy. Nobody said nothing.
No.
Now because it's Kendrick Lamar, it's the problem. Why is it a problem? Because of what just transpired over the summer. That's why it's a problem. But it is what it is. I, somebody said it in the comments. Somebody said, "Why do y'all go so hard?" And I love Lil Wayne. Why do people go so hard for Lil Wayne when he don't care nothing about y'all, especially black folks? But just by what has transpired over the years with him, um, he's a Donald Trump supporter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he don't really mess with black women like that. It's been a lot over the years. But I mean, he hasn't had a draw in how long? Like, how long has it been since Wayne has had a draw? It's been years. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been on people's, he's been a feature, but it's been a minute. Congratulations, Kendrick.
Yeah. Congratulations. Brittany.
I'm sorry. I disagree with everybody.
Ah,
I am a Louisiana hot boy, cash money, 99s and 2000s fan. Like, I grew up in Texas. That's all we listened to. No Limit Soldiers. It is a huge slap in the face. And I think it's because the Super Bowl in Cali, they had Dr. Dre, they had Snoop Dogg, they had everybody in LA come out and do their whole little LA thing. And then when Atlanta performs, Atlanta shows up when there's something going on in Atlanta. They have T.I. gonna show up, people from Atlanta gonna show up and show out. They'll bring Monica out. They'll bring all kind of people to represent Atlanta or all these different places. And I think that this is an opportunity that Louisiana could have used to shine. I don't think that they had an issue with Beyonce being there because Beyonce family from Louisiana, her mama Creole. So I do think that it should have been Lil Wayne. And I understand he has not had a hit, but he is a GOAT. So I do think that he would have put on a great show. He could have brought out Juicy. He got this whole Louisiana fest about to pop in November. It would have been a great opportunity for Hurricane Chris, Lil Boosie, Webby, Master P, Romeo. It would have been a great opportunity for all of these people to really just come together and shine. They've had a lot of drama amongst themselves. Louisiana has been hit hard economically. It would have been a great opportunity for them to have a culture and just really shine. They could have did Big Frida for the LGBTQ people. They could have did so many people to where it could have been very inclusive and very New Orleans and Louisiana and their culture. So I think they missed the opportunity, especially having Lil Wayne on all these sports shows they be having them with doing the anchor and all this other kind of stuff. So I do think it was a missed opportunity.
Can I
I
add
do
something
love
to
Kendrick's
that?
song.
Can I add something to that? So how it normally goes is Kendrick is the headliner. That doesn't mean he's the only one. He's the
yeah.
headliner. And he gets to have a say in who else comes along to perform with him. So we still really don't know who else is going to be there, but he's just the main act.
I don't think Lil Wayne gonna show up as a sideline. I understand that. I don't think it should have been Kendrick's choice. And I get that. I think that's a disservice to have everybody else show up as an afterthought.
So can I
Just off of one song,
something?
just off of one song that he did. And I love Kendrick. I love Freedom. I love They Not Like Us. I know a few other songs of Kendrick. I do, but I just think that right now wasn't about that.
And I honestly think that he got it on the strength of that song is just not a hit song. It's a movement. There's a whole cultural shift around that song and as it relates to how everybody gravitated toward it and what's going on in the world right now. They started off as a diss record for Drake and then it turned into this thing.
You gonna say Lania?
Just real quick, actually it's not Kendrick's decision. What happens is there is a group in each city where the Super Bowl is held. There's a conglomerate that decide who they want. And those people are from that particular area who make that decision when it comes to who do we want as, as a headliner for the Super Bowl. I don't know how many, but I did read an article on that. So it's not the performer themselves, it's a specific group from that specific area when it comes to picking Super Bowl halftime shows and who they want to bring in and who they feel um how they feel that would do for that particular location. So it's not the actual performer themselves.
Mm,
And let's keep in mind, Jay-Z has his hand in it too.
yeah.
He's a part of
And
the
that's
committee.
even more of a reason I feel like, come on now, Jay-Z, like, come on now. Like, he got it right with the LA Rams and that whole thing. He got it right with that. Like, I feel like Jay-Z as a rapper, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, like, they right up there neck and neck with each other. Like, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity for that. So, yes, I understand that it wasn't Kendrick's choice, but I do think, like, even reading Nicki Minaj spoke out on it. Lil
Yeah.
Wayne's DJ spoke out on it. Birdman spoke out. Everybody is like, Boosie upset about it. Everybody is upset
He always
about it
upset.
because it's just like, it is a slap in the face to ask a legend to be an afterthought to Kendrick Lamar because he has a really good song right now. He has a really good song, but Lil Wayne is a legend in his own right, and that is the city he's from.
But we'll see what happens. But listen, before we go, our condolences to the family of James Earl Jones. He passed away at 94 years old. Legend, 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 legend. Job well done. Listen, y'all, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Chike, I'll see you at Movie Reviews, and we will be right back after this.